Have you ever wondered what gives someone that magnetic pull? That undeniable allure? Well, today we're going way beyond the usual dating tips. We're talking about the art of seduction, but not just as a way to attract someone, but as a form of real personal power. So, let's just start with a big question, one that gets right to the heart of it all. What is the true language of desire? It's not just about looks, right? It's about creating a spark, a connection that hits on a much, much deeper level.
Okay, let's get into how this actually works. We're going to start by breaking down the two core pillars of attraction, flirting and seduction. Now, you might think they're the same thing, but honestly, they are playing two completely different games.
And this really lays it all out. Think about it. Flirting is the fun, light-hearted dance. It's playful, it boosts your confidence, and it creates a little mystery. But seduction, well, that's a whole other level. It's intentional, it's deliberate. It's not just about getting his attention. It's about creating a powerful, psychological connection that makes you the absolute center of his world.
Right, so here's the bottom line. Seduction is never passive. It's a focused, deliberate choice you make. It's about creating a bond so strong both in his mind and body that it hooks his thoughts directly onto you. It's like you become the only signal in a room full of noise.
But what's really going on here? What's the science behind such a powerful connection? And why does it work so incredibly well? Let's dive into the psychology of it all. Because understanding why it works is the key to keeping that flame burning in any relationship, whether it's brand new or decades old.
You see, our brains are literally hardwired to love the thrill of the chase. And when you create that playful tension, you're triggering this incredible cocktail of chemicals in his brain. You get adrenaline for that rush of excitement, dopamine for that feeling of pleasure and reward, and then oxytocin for that deep sense of connection. I mean, from an evolutionary perspective, this wasn't just some game. It was how our ancestors tested a partner's commitment. So by tapping into this, you're basically speaking a primal, biological language he is literally programmed to understand.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly explains the long-term power of this. Because, let's be real, in any relationship, things can get, routine. By keeping this game alive, you become the antidote to that boredom. You become the adventure in the middle of everyday life. And that's how you ensure a connection doesn't just survive, it actually thrives on that energy.
Okay, so we've got the science down. Now for the really fun part. The actual tools you can use. Let's look at the techniques of allure, and we're going to draw some inspiration from the absolute masters of the craft. Now, true seduction isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's all about finding what makes you alluring and turning up the volume. And we can learn so much from icons like Marilyn Monroe and Monica Bellucci, two women who mastered two very different but equally powerful approaches to attraction.
This shows you there isn't just one way to do it. You have Monroe, who mastered the art of timing and a kind of soft vulnerability. The power she found in a simple pause, or a look that lasted just a second too long. And then you have Bellucci, who is pure presence, this earthy, grounded sexuality that just commands your attention the second she walks into a room. Two totally different paths, same incredible result.
And listen, you don't have to be a movie star to be seductive. In fact, the most powerful tool you have is your mind. Let's talk about how you can build insane tension and desire just by using the subtle art of language.
Just think about that for a second. On the surface, yeah, you're talking about dessert, but by using these sensory, suggestive words, you're creating a second layer of meaning that his brain can't help but pick up on. It's linguistic seduction, and it lets you wield this incredible erotic power without ever being obvious about it.
And this whole idea of being suggestive but not obvious, it absolutely extends to how you dress. Your style is a huge part of your toolkit. But there's a world of difference between being sexy and being seductive. Showing everything off might signal you're available, sure, but true allure, that comes from creating a little mystery.
And this is exactly how you create that allure. It's about choosing these classic feminine shapes, like a high-collared sweater that has a surprise slit all the way down the back, or a simple, elegant pencil skirt. These things tap into timeless ideas of femininity. It's about inviting him to undress you with his eyes, which, trust me, is so much more powerful than him seeing everything at once.
So, we've talked about the psychology, we've gone over the practical tools, but now we're at the final piece of the puzzle. This is the most important element of all. This is where your true, undeniable power really comes from.
So here it is. The ultimate secret to seduction is your own enjoyment of the process. It's not a show you're putting on for him, it's an experience you're having for yourself. That energy you feel when you embrace your own desirability, that is the very thing that makes you completely and utterly irresistible.
So your number one tool, more than your words, more than your clothes, more than anything else, is the unstoppable force of your own confidence. And this isn't about being arrogant. It's about being deeply comfortable in your own skin and taking a kind of playful pleasure in the power you have. That self-possession is the ultimate turn-on. Why? Because it signals you don't need his approval, which, of course, just makes him want to earn it that much more.
And that really brings us to our final thought. Whether you're with a new person or a partner you've been with for 20 years, seduction is an art form. It's a game that never, ever has to end. So the only question left is, are you ready to play?
You can find the electronic version of book She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain at wishforlove.org.